Welcome back to eSIM Studios. My name is Taylor Bell. So I haven't been completely honest with you guys. I have a little bit of a problem. I have an addiction. Now, it's probably not the addiction you're thinking of. I have something called a phone addiction. That's right. I went ahead and purchased another Motorola Signature. The main reason is I just simply missed the phone. Now, this is technically an upgrade from the previous one. The original one I got a month or two ago, maybe about 2 months ago, was a 12 gig 256 model. This is a 16,512, so it is an upgrade for me. But it's sort of interesting. So these phone companies don't send me phones to review. I have to purchase them all on my own. And the original reason why I got rid of the original is because I had to buy three S26 Ultras for the family. Very expensive. It is what it is. I had to sell some phones to get some money to help pay for the new S26 Ultras. It's sort of like breaking up with a girlfriend or a wife or a longtime friend. You don't really know what you have until it's gone. Ever since I've sold this, I'm like, damn, I really miss that phone. It's razor thin. It's lightweight. Has some of the best camera sensors you can find on any device in the world. And it's just a joy to use. I haven't used Motorola in years. In going back to it, I was quite frankly blown away, shocked. Like, it is a fantastic mobile operating system. It's a fantastic device to use. Long battery life. We'll get into some specs here in a little bit, and I'm going to do comparison videos between this and all the other devices that I have. This is sort of an admission video that, yeah, I have a little bit of a problem. I use my YouTube channel as an excuse to buy a phone, basically, and I share my experiences with you. The other reason why I got it, first, because I missed it. I just simply love the phone. The other reason is I know a lot of people pre-ordered the new Motorola Razr Fold. I just can't do foldables for whatever reason. I don't know. I just can't get into them. So the next best thing would be this. When the people out there that did buy a Motorola Razr Fold, this runs a very similar build. The specs are almost identical. Obviously missing the big internal screen, but besides the obvious things, it's essentially the same phone. The Razr Fold is essentially two of these put together. They just open up. Point is, when the Razr Fold gets an update, this will get an update. When this gets an update, the Razr Fold will get an update. So I can be right there with you because I wanted to get one and join all of y'all, but I just can't do foldables. So those two reasons. Got another one of these. I just signed into it and I'm already back in love with this thing. Very disappointing that Motorola is not going to introduce this to the United States. I think they would sell tons of these. If this was available on the Motorola website for the United States consumer, they would sell a gazillion of these. I don't know what Motorola is doing, quite frankly. Apparently they have a reason why they're not selling them in the US. Just the look. Just the feel, the sensors, the operating system. It is a really good buy at a really good price. It's essentially a flagship spec'd out device at half the price. It's half the price that my S26 Ultra is. And it's every bit of the S26 Ultra. The obvious thing that sticks out is the processor. This comes with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 5, and this has the Elite. The other specs, this essentially beats the S26 Ultra in almost, I say almost, okay, so don't kill me in the comments, in almost every other stat line, in almost every other spec, this beats this. I was just looking over the specs right now before I recorded this just to make sure I don't say anything stupid. There's only a couple of things where this beats this. Again, the obvious thing, oh, this doesn't you don't have an S Pen in there. Well, you can, in fact, I just got the Motorola, it's coming, but the stylus for this. You can use the stylus with this. And guess what? It's Bluetooth. It's a 10-bit display. It's got UFS 4.1 storage. Should I go on and on and on? Because this essentially beats it in every way. Don't let that CPU fool you. Oh, it doesn't have the Elite. Okay. It's still a flagship CPU, and it still does anything and everything you can do on this phone. I promise you that. Cameras are better, video is better, still photo is better, 165 hertz display, 120. This is military standard drop protection as is with no case. This is not. It's just got a number of things military grade aluminum. This is aluminum, not military grade on the S26 Ultra. This is IP69 rated water and dust protection. This is IP68. Do you want me to go on? Because I can bore you to death with specs. This is probably the phone to get. And again, I know, it's not officially available to US consumers, but you will not be disappointed if you decide to pull the trigger. Sure, the operating system, when you look at the specs, the Motorola signature blows away the S26 Ultra. It just does. And it, again, half the price. Now, the only thing I can think of that people would bring up in comparison is One UI 8.5 or Samsung's One UI, right? Now, Motorola, I think they call it like Hello UI. I can't remember. Whatever. Their operating system is pretty freaking good. It's closer to if the Pixel operating system and if Oxygen OS, the OnePlus operating system, if they had a child, it would be this, because it's very similar to a stock Android experience. However, when I use it, it reminds me of the Oxygen OS experience. So it's kind of a good blend of both of those. There may be one or two more options in Samsung, but this thing they've got a lot in the operating system over here on this side. So it's a joy to use, and it's been having a fantastic time today so far with it. It is only, I say only, 186 grams. It is only a 6.9 millimeter thin or thick frame, where if you like the way the OnePlus 13 looks and feels in your hand and how you essentially can use it, this is right around the same size. It's thinner, but I'm just talking about how it's a quad nano curved display. So it's slightly curved. I think the OnePlus 13 has more curvature. This is just barely curved on the left, right, top, and bottom. So if you like the OnePlus 13, you're going to like this. It's not your traditional curved display, because it's just slightly curved. It's just enough to fit in your hand perfectly. And it's not the enormous 6.9 inch display like the S26 Ultra. It does have a 6.8 inch display. So it's just a shade smaller than the S26 Ultra, which is a good thing, because in my opinion, the S26 Ultra probably a little bit too big. You gotta juggle it if you're using it with one hand just to make some screen selections. The cameras are pretty freaking good. Has Wi-Fi 7, has Bluetooth 6. And shall I mention the Motorola Connect? It blows away Samsung DeX. So there's not anything that this phone doesn't have when in comparison to other flagships. Again, it's just a shame they're not introducing this to the United States market. Does have eSIM support, does fully support any T-Mobile and or T-Mobile MVNO, as well as at&t and Verizon. I'm looking at the 5G bands right now. It's quite a lot. I think it's a fantastic device for anybody maybe looking to get outside the US options, because our options are dwindling. iPhone, Pixel, Samsung, and OnePlus. And then OnePlus is going to be going away. So the OnePlus 15 is the last one released in the United States. Not many options. So if you're tired of Pixel because of the 200 charging cycle fiasco, you can come over here to the Motorola side. If you're tired of Samsung, you can come over to the Motorola side. So what does that say about the S26 Ultra? I don't know. It's a good phone, and if you want one, I think you should buy one. But when in comparison to other devices, to competitors out there, there's better options out there. The OnePlus 15, it's a better option. This, is it a better option? Well, we're about to find out. I'm going to do video comparisons between this and the S26 Ultra, between this and the OnePlus 15, between this and the iPhone 17 Pro, and then maybe the Pixel. Maybe I'll pull it out to do a comparison with this. Appreciate the time. See y'all on the next one.